Firstly, I just want a big thank you to everyone who's been involved in all the different countries that have helped to create this important milestone for us. 18 years of M-PESA has just been absolutely amazing, and the transformation that we made across all the countries that we operate in driving financial inclusion has really been absolutely superb. So, I mean, today, across the footprint, and it's M-PESA, it's Voda Cash, it's Voda Pay. Today, we process $435 billion of transactions. That's 1.2 billion of transactions per day. And of course, most of that is coming, or a big portion of that is actually coming from M-PESA in the various countries, and has really been just absolutely amazing, with over 51 million of the 85 million customers that we have today just coming from M-PESA. It's been absolutely, it's a very crucial part of our strategy. And our strategy has always been try and on the one side is growing the footprint, which is adding Egypt and Ethiopia into the footprint, but also to diversify in terms of revenue and to drive digital inclusion on the one side and to drive financial inclusion. And of course, the more financial inclusion you can drive, the more you help grow the GDP of that country. So it's been a very important pillar for us and bringing people into that, being financially included. So it's been very meaningful in terms of performance, in terms of growth, in terms of revenue. I mean, today we do over $1.8 billion across the group in absolute revenue that comes from our financial services play. It was all born with M-PESA. So it really just, it's a very important milestone for us. It's not a secondary business, it's a core business. In markets like Kenya and Tanzania, it's now 43% of our revenue comes from financial services or from M-PESA. So it's not a sideshow. It's a core business that we're running. It's a very important part of our strategy, and it's just so much more to go and so much more opportunity. But what's really meaningful is when you see the impact it's having in society, whether that's at the merchant play or whether that's at the merchant level or at the consumer level. Products like Poliza, Hustler Fund have made all the difference. You know, I used to be a street vendor myself, so I really appreciate what Hustler Fund has done with more than 18.5 million users, that you know, what it's done to empower those merchants. I wish there was a Hustler Fund when I was a street vendor. I think the Super App gives us more capability. I think one of the things that we've been missing is we're not leveraging off the strength of a telco. In all our markets, excluding Ethiopia, we've got market leadership on the telco side. So by combining the efforts of M-PESA and the telco into one, effectively you then have one app where you can do everything. So when people come for airtime, we can sell them other services. They can do their payments, they can lend, they can do various different services. And what we're seeing is the minute we do the one app, we're seeing acceleration of daily uses. That our toothbrush case becomes our own product. And that's the beauty of it. So instead of having multiple apps and multiple advertising and multiple different things, by having one app, they can come for content, they can come for fiber, they can come for mobile, for data packages, for all of these type of things. Everything can happen from one app. And then in the Super App, you're bringing third parties on. What you're doing with third parties, you're giving them the ability to sell into your customer base, but to also utilize our CVM, our promotions, our big data, and so on. So if you're a small merchant and you're operating in a particular area, this gives you the ability to sell your product into the entire country. And you don't need to have very expensive capabilities or abilities to do it. So it's like if you're a restaurant and you go into Uber Eats. It's the same concept, but now you're coming onto M-PESA. You got the ability to pay, you got the opportunity to do buy now, pay later, or you can take an overdraft and then be able to buy the service. So it has a benefit for merchants and for consumers. There'll always be, and the concept should be that there'll always be a better deal in the one app or in our M-PESA app. Well, I think firstly, the biggest innovation that we can get is firstly to get all the countries at the same level of sophistication. Whether that's the kids, M-PESA for kids, whether it's savings and investments. I'm quite passionate about the wealth management, savings and investment part, because I think if we can create a savings culture, more and more people will come to M-PESA. So if you can invest as little as $1 or a shilling, that will help to get people to come more often. Because if you want people to come more often to your app, put the money there, let them put their money in, they come and see how their money is growing all the time. So I think there's opportunity for people the wealth and investment part. There'll be a lot of innovation around that. But international money transfers, I think card payments, virtual card, there's just so many different things that we'll continue to innovate on. Also, the level of sophistication on our lending products, buy now, pay later, vouchering. You must be able to come to M-PESA and get the best deal possible, whether you're going to buy it online or whether you're going to effectively buy the voucher and then redeem it. We need to make sure that we've got the best offers for customers. And I think also one of the biggest innovations will be loyalty, that you can earn and burn your points on the super app. And we're doing it for telco and we're doing it separately for M-PESA. When we bring the power of those two together and we can create the spin and people can use points to pay, then I think we'll have created a lot more innovation in that respect. And I think the next big thing, of course, is the e-commerce part. I think where we are today is, the first part is that we need to continue to grow our base. Today we have 85 million customers across the group. We have set ourselves a target that we want to get to 120 million customers. So that's the next milestone for us. So that's the first thing. Then I think we've got to make sure that we've given people an outlet. So the e-commerce part, I think, is a big part, and that's why the super app. So merchants being able to sell their products through the app itself. Then it's the expansion of the wealth part and being able to do that. But then also making sure that international money transfer, building our own routes and so on for international money transfer, I think is really, really important, so that people are sending money via M-PESA and no other alternative. So those are just some of the innovations. Then the buy now, pay later, and I think will become a bigger part. Vouchering will become a bigger part. So there's a multitude of different areas: virtual card, credit card, physical cards in some places. So M-PESA cards and so on. So we have all the tools. We just need to accelerate and get everybody utilizing our different products and services.